Hello guys and girls, this is the session 2 on your retail marketing management. In the last session I basically told you about the meaning and function of a retailer, what he actually does in the store. I've told you in the last session. Well, so in today's session I'll tell you the principles of retailing, or the other word for principle is important elements of retailing, or basic elements of retailing, or the necessity of retailing. What is the need for your retailing, or why should you focus on principles? So to begin with the principle, the first one is clear definition of your objectives and policies. Now, if you are running a retail store, then you should be clear about your objectives and your policies. Why? Because if you who is running the retail store is not clear about the objectives, then what will you guide your employees? So make sure that your employees are clear about the objectives and various policies, what they are expected to do in the store. Alright, so this is the meaning of the first point. Second one is duties and responsibilities. This principle means make sure that your employees are well aware of their duties, what they are supposed to be doing in the workplace, or what they are supposed to be doing in the store. Let them be aware of their responsibilities. Now, when I say responsibilities, there is hierarchy. There is organizational hierarchy. Who is supposed to give orders to whom, and who is supposed to report to which of their supervisor. So this will come under your responsibility. So make sure that your employees knows whom to go and report. The third one is unity of command. When I say unity of command, that means one junior staff or one employee should have one supervisor. If one employee has 10 supervisors, what will happen? There will be more of mess. The employee will be confused, like whom to impress, or whose orders to be done, or whose orders to be taken into consideration. So unity of command principle says one employee must have one supervisor, so that it becomes easier for them to communicate and also report and respond. Next one is supervision and control. Now basically, you must have heard that in every organization there is a employee participation, employee decision making, and so on. But here the principles of retailing tells you that though you give control to your employees, though you give all the participation, decision making, opportunities or control to your employees, if they commit any mistake, or if they if they make any mistake, or if they don't work properly, then you will be responsible for them. That is the concept of supervision. When you supervise someone, no matter what mistakes they do, you are responsible because you were supervising them. This is the point number 4. Point number 5 is create an interest in the employees. Now you are someone who is running the retail store. If you don't create the interest in the employees will not have high morale. Alright, I already told you the meaning of difference between morale and moral, alright, in the classes, physical classes. So this is interest is, in order to get 100% or best from your employees, you need to create an interest in them. So how will you create interest in your employees? Merely increase in salary will not interest your employees. So what will you do? You will appraise them. You will make a job rotation. You will see that they have enough training. You will give them induction, you will give them proper training, you will see that their skills are well developed, and so on. So this is how the employees will have interest to work for your organization. The next point is monitoring of human resource. So when I say monitoring or supervision of human resource, it's a vast concept, because human resource means here your manpower, your employees. Monitor them. If they are being slow at their work, monitor and guide them, train them. Alright, that is the monitoring of your human resource point. Next one is rule of simplicity. See that the policies that you have upheld is simple. See that the orders that you give are communicated in a very simpler languages or a basic language. Alright, don't mess the employees with a lot of work or lot of burden at one point of time, but see that you are simple and the tasks are simple. The way you portray the task is simpler and not messy or confusing. The next one is responsibility and authority. Authority here means you give the power to your employees to take decision. You give the power to the employees to take few of the decisions in their department on their own. They need not come to you and ask for each and every permission. Let them take the decision on their own. So that is authority. You are giving authority to someone to work like they want in the department. Responsibility is after taking certain decisions, whom are you going and reporting that to? For example, we will report to our HOD. We will report to our dean. Similarly, your assignments, you report to the teachers. So here the responsibility flow has to be clear and crisp. And the last point for today's class, today's session is division of labor. In order to make the work complete, specialize in expert manner, you need to divide your employees based on their skills, based on their ability, based on their interest, based on their creativity, based on their intensity of knowledge, and so on. So division of labor is a principle which focuses on specialization, which focuses on interest of the employees. If you suppose I'm good in drawing, so you can't make me do something else. Alright, so because I'm only good in drawing. So this is how you, based on the skills and abilities of your employees, you give them work. Alright, you divide them based on their skills. So this is about the last point. So these are the various principles that a retailer should keep in mind about the employees. He should see that the employees are clear and crisp about all these principles. So this is all for today's session.